Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxhorn, and in this video I'm going to be going over some of the best settlement building Fallout 4 mods that have popped up on the Nexus over the past few months. It's been a while since I've done a video about mods, so I figured it was about time to show off my favorites that I've been using for a while now. Now, I play Fallout 4 on the PC, so I will be reviewing primarily PC mods. I don't have an Xbox or a PS4, so I can't test mods on either of those two platforms. However, many of the mods that I will review in this video and my other mod videos do have console versions, so feel free to reach out to the mod authors directly to find out if they have a console version available for you, or to request one. Just make sure, as I know you always do, that you treat them politely and with a lot of respect. First up is Just Debris by Scan the Cat and Dividius and DJXJT13. This is one of my favorite mods that I've seen lately, and it's something I have been wanting for a long time. This mod allows you to place trash, garbage, filth, rubbish piles, and a bunch of other debris in your settlement as settlement decorations. This is such a refreshing mod to see because so many mods are all about turning the world of Fallout 4 into a cleaned up, beautiful, sparkling place. And there's a place for those kind of mods, but the world of Fallout to me is a place of decay, rust, and rubble. And so even though I try to rebuild the Commonwealth with my settlements, I still want them to have a wasteland feel. This mod is perfect for that. You find the debris in the floor decorations section of your build menu, and there's a ton of stuff here. Now, most of these are best used on flat surfaces. That's because many of these are rectangular decals. Piles of bricks, piles of paper, rusted high-tech machinery. These are going to look awkward if you try to put them on hillsides. But these fine fellows have a whole bunch of other stuff that will work well, even in settlements that have hilly terrain. Big piles of bricks, big piles of smoking debris with sticks sticking out of it, piles of stone, robot pieces, all sorts of wonderful, wonderful things. Now, some of these things can't be removed after you place them. The guys are working on a fix for this, but for the moment, if you happen to place one of these objects that you can't remove, you can always remove it using the console by opening the console, selecting the decal, and then typing disable, which simply makes it invisible, or mark for delete, which will delete the item when you leave the settlement and then come back. I'm particularly pleased with this mod, not just because it's so cool, but because the fine fellows who developed it were talking a lot about it in the Fallout 4 modding channel on my Discord server for many weeks now. I would catch snippets of their conversations and I was wondering what they were working on, and lo and behold, this masterpiece comes out. So thank you very much, Scan the Cat, Dividius, and DJXJT13. I can't wait to see what else you guys have in store. Next up is Decal Stain Remover by LETHALTHREAT. The way Fallout 4 works is they add a lot of depth and detail to the game by placing decals on the ground. The problem is that in order to make sure that they can be seen, the game computer always places the decal on the highest layer in the cell. Now, normally this works fine, but it doesn't work fine in settlements when you're constantly changing the way the settlement works. This is most clearly seen in places like the Slog. In the Slog, you can place beds anywhere you want, but if you place them in the showers, the puddles of water on the ground will appear on your beds and on your carpets, and there's nothing you can do about it. Decal Stain Remover takes care of this for you. The author LETHALTHREAT has gone through each settlement in the game, DLCs included, and has manually removed these top-of-surface decals from the settlement. Now, the rest of your game is going to remain untouched, so you'll still be able to enjoy the beauty of these decals everywhere else in the world, but in your settlements, when you're moving beds, building walls, and placing carpets, this mod removes them so you no longer have to have your settlers sleeping on wet beds. This is a wonderful touch that fixes a problem that has long bothered me. So thank you very much for Decal Stain Remover, LETHALTHREAT. Next up is SnapBeds by Ferret. I showed this off in my Finch Farm Revisited Settlement Build video, and it is a wonderful mod that solves problem with settler beds that have plagued settlement builders since the beginning of the game. The problem with the game is that settlers each take up one bed, but even though you can build bunk beds when you get the Vault-Tec Workshop, which of course has 2 mattresses, it still only counts as one bed. This means that if you have a lot of settlers at your settlement ends up being comprised primarily of beds, because you gotta find a bed for every single settler. So you'll have 8 houses, each filled with 6 beds, and by the time you're done, there's just nothing interesting about your settlement. It's just a big field filled with shacks and beds. This mod fixes the issue by changing the way beds are built in the game, allowing you to make bunk beds that truly sleep 2 settlers, and couple beds that will sleep 2 settlers. The way it works is the mod author cleverly divided beds into frames and mattresses. First, you build the frame. Then, you choose the mattress that you want and you snap the mattress to the frame. Bunk beds, of course, have 2 snap spots for mattresses, and couple beds have 2 snap spots, one for half of a king-sized bed and the other for the other half of a king-sized bed. The thing I like most about this mod are the wall-hanging cots. These are military-style cots that consist of a small frame hanging from the wall upon which you can snap a mattress. This saves a ton of space, especially if you're trying to build a home in like a boxcar, for example. And it's easy for your settlers to find the bed to sleep in it. They don't get stuck in a tight corner or something like that. SnapBeds makes it much easier to build an attractive settlement that discreetly has beds in logical places where you would normally put them, while still giving each settler his or her own bed. Awesome work, very well done. Thank you, Ferret. Next up is Fine Art of the Commonwealth by Lima Hotel 807. This simple mod is something that I've been wanting to see for a very long time. He took historical pieces of art, mainly dealing with American history or the history of other revolutions, and places them in your framed art build menu. Now, Fallout 4 does come with a few pieces of revolutionary artwork, so the pieces that this mod adds, I feel, are still lore-friendly. They fit in with the lore of the game, with the revolutionary feel of the Minutemen, and they're not replacers of existing artwork pieces, so this mod is compatible with the vanilla game and any other painting mod that you have installed. A wonderful addition for settlement builders like me who love getting into the details. Thank you, Lima Hotel 807. Along similar lines is Faction artwork by Ben EPLA. We all remember Ben. He has done some of our favorite retextures. He did the Chem retexture mod that we love so well, and he comes back today with topical, lore-friendly faction propaganda artwork. He's got some of Liberty Prime, Freedom Lies in Being Bold, Better Dead Than Red. He has Institute stuff with Father's Face and the Institute tagline, Mankind Redefined. He's got Elder Maxon in there, Show No Mercy. And of course, Preston Garvey, Another Settlement Needs Your Help. And he didn't forget the Railroad. He's got a couple of Railroad ones in there, with Desdemona asking, would you risk your life for your fellow man, even if that man is a synth? A truly timeless question. So now you can show off your faction pride using the poster of your choice. Thank you very much, Ben EPLA. Next up is Craftable Turret Stands by DAEDRAGON. Ever since I went to Covenant, I coveted those turret stands that you find on the walls of Covenant. Why did we not have access to building those at the launch of the game? Well, never fear, my friend. DAEDRAGON has solved this for you by adding these wall-mounted turret stands to your build menu. You find them in the wooden floor section of your workshop build menu. These snap to almost any wall, so they're perfect for setting up defenses at your castle, for example, or at any other settlement where you want to put these things on the wall. Just snap the turret stand to any wall and then place a turret right on top of it. Bingo, bango, bongo. You won't need to leave the Congo because you've got a wall-mounted turret. Thanks, DAEDRAGON. And finally, we've got Immersive Market Stores by CRIMSONRIDER. CRIMSONRIDER has been all over the Nexus lately with his high quality and interesting mods, and this is one of them. This mod makes a new store that you can assign a settler to that is nice and compact. One of the biggest problems with stores as they work in the settlement building system that comes with the game is that every single variation of the shops is huge and bulky and very often ugly. The latest addition Bethesda made are these really long countertops that don't come with any interesting decorations and are frankly impractical to decorate with just vanilla mechanics. But let's say you've got a settlement that is really compact, like Hangman's Alley, for example. You can't have half a dozen shops in Hangman's Alley without mods. There's just very little you can do about that. Enter Immersive Market Stores. He took a rolling cart and turned each of those rolling carts into a marketplace. He then decorated up each cart befitting the type of store that it represents. You can then assign a settler, and the settler will perform a unique animation that fits that type of store. There's a clinic with a microscope and medical supplies, a bar/restaurant with a bartender slicing up a big ol' hunk of meat, a general goods store with a cash register and an assortment of goods underneath. The settler stands there holding a clipboard, an armor store with a settler fixing up a piece of power armor with a blowtorch, a weapons shop with a terminal and a bunch of ammunition, and finally a clothing store with a cash register, a bunch of towels, and a settler holding a Vault 111 jumpsuit. I had no problems assigning my settlers to these stores, and each shop worked perfectly, just as expected. This adds a lot of variety to your settlements while saving a ton of space. Thank you very much, CRIMSONRIDER. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some of my most favorite settlement mods that I have discovered lately. All of these have come out in the past couple of months. Do you like mods, or are you a modder and you want to talk with more people about modding? I have an entire channel dedicated to Fallout 4 mods on my Discord server that anyone can have access to. So be sure to join my public Discord server so that you can talk with other people of the Oxhorn community about Fallout 4 mods. I have links to all of the mods that I talked about in this video in the description of this video. So if you want a direct link to the PC version of the mod, be sure to open up the description and click away. I've been doing mod videos for a very long time now, so if you want to check out some of the others I've done, explore the Fallout 4 mods playlist, which I've put together. I feature it on the channel page of this YouTube channel, where you will find dozens upon dozens of some of the best Fallout 4 mods in existence. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But more than anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just glad you're here watching this video today. Thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video.